Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Oh my goodness, where do I even begin? I'm so excited that I'm also just so nervous at the same time for this video. But I don't know, I guess I should just get right into it and tell you guys what's going on. So I am just absolutely beyond excited to finally be sharing the news with all of you that I am starting up my very own business and opening up my very own animal center. That is honestly just such a surreal thing to say, and I'm just like so excited that I am sitting here actually getting to say this. So without further ado, I am beyond excited to introduce you all to Beyond the Wild Animal Center. I mean, check it out, I'm wearing a logo shirt right now. It's real. So about 2 months ago now, when I very first moved back to Nova Scotia and I revealed that to all of you, I mentioned how one of the reasons why I moved back here was because I was working on starting up my own business. And now at the time, I didn't really share anything beyond that. All I really said was, hey, I moved back here and I'm gonna be starting up my own business. And now today, I am finally here to tell you all about my business and what it is going to be, and I am so excited for you guys to hear about it and also for you guys to see it. So like I mentioned earlier, Beyond the Wild is going to be an animal center and it's also going to be an animal education business. Now, when you think of an animal center, I'm sure you're probably thinking of a place that you can physically walk into and go and visit. However, that is not what Beyond the Wild Animal Center is going to be. I am super excited to announce that Beyond the Wild Animal Center is going to be the first virtual exclusive zoo. So that is actually really amazing news for all of you guys, no matter where you are in the world. So now, because Beyond the Wild is going to be a virtual thing, that means that it is something that anyone, anywhere in the world can come to enjoy at any time of the day. Now, I'm sure that it's probably hard to imagine what that all entails, and unfortunately I can't share all of the details yet because I kind of want it to be a bit of a surprise, but just know that this virtual animal center is like nothing you have seen before. There's going to be a full virtual zoo on there, there's going to be memberships, there's going to be videos, there's going to be conversation, there's going to be pet care information, and there's also just going to be so much more, and I'm so excited for you all to see that. And now, in addition to this whole virtual zoo aspect of Beyond the Wild, I'm really excited to say that we are also going to be offering educational live animal shows and presentations, and now these are going to be offered both in person here in Nova Scotia or virtually, so once again, anyone anywhere in the world can enjoy the experience. So here in Nova Scotia, we are going to be offering in-person live animal presentations for things like birthday parties and events and such. And then, as I mentioned, these same presentations will also be available to be booked virtually. So I really truly hope that Beyond the Wild Animal Center is going to be something that all of you can enjoy, whether you're here in Nova Scotia or you are halfway across the world. So like I said, I don't want to share every single detail yet because I want you guys to see that when the business launches. So I suppose I should tell you when that is going to happen. So Beyond the Wild Animal Center will be launching with the new year. So on January 1st, our business and our website will finally be live. So while the website is not currently live and it won't be until January 1st, there is now a Beyond the Wild Instagram account and also a Beyond the Wild Facebook page. So you can find both of those by searching at Beyond the Wild AC, again, on both Instagram and Facebook. And obviously, you guys can expect that I will also be talking about it here on YouTube, probably for the rest of my life. Hopefully that doesn't annoy you all too much. So this right here is the Beyond the Wild Animal Center logo, and oh my goodness, I am absolutely obsessed with this. This logo here was designed by Cassidy Fang, and I am just so insanely happy with how it turned out. This logo here is like so much better than the vision I had in my head. I truly cannot express just how happy I am with this logo. I think that it is absolutely beautiful, and it really just represents everything that I want it to. So if you take a look at it, you can see that I have 3 animals on here, and those are a Malaysian cat gecko. This one was actually based off my gecko Sage. Then we have a Parsons chameleon, which is Fiona, and then the frog down on the bottom is my white tree frog, Linguini. So these here, like the shirt that I'm holding and also the shirt that I am wearing, are the Beyond the Wild staff shirts. So the front of the shirt here just has the logo on it, and then if you turn it to the back here, you can see that it says Beyond the Wild Animal Center staff, and then below it, it says ask us about our live animal shows and online zoo. So here's the staff shirts. So now that I have finally introduced you all to Beyond the Wild Animal Center, I would love to kind of talk about it and, you know, what inspired this idea of mine. So this was an idea that I originally got last summer. It was like June of 2020, maybe July, I don't know. It was summer of 2020 when I very first got this idea. For those of you who have been following my channel for a couple years now, you will probably remember that about 2 years ago now, I was working as a zookeeper. And now I wasn't really a zookeeper who did a lot of like in zoo work. I was the one who was, you know, going to birthday parties and events with animals and presenting them. I was what my zoo would call an outreach staff. And I absolutely loved the job that I had. I had so much fun just getting to talk to people about animals all the time and present them and share my knowledge and get other people interested in animals as well. It was just truly something I really loved doing. But without getting into too much detail, I guess I will just say that overall, the zoo industry can be very difficult, and the job that I was in was just not at all sustainable. So last year in like the spring and the summer, my mental health took a big turn. And now I think a lot of this had to do with, you know, the pandemic that we were living in. But overall, my mental health took a big turn last year, and it resulted in me having to quit my job. And after that, I was unable to work for about 8 months at that point. And, you know, it was an incredibly hard and frustrating period of my life. You know, when you are struggling with mental health issues or also physical health issues, and it prevents you from being able to do the work that you want and the jobs that you want, or just prevent you from being able to work at all, you can feel just really hopeless and sad. And I definitely felt a lot of that. So while I was struggling a lot personally, I was obviously not the only person out there struggling from the pandemic. And I guess, well, this isn't a person, something else that was really struggling during the pandemic were zoos. And again, because I was working in a zoo at the beginning of a pandemic and continued to work at the zoo up until the summer of 2020, I witnessed this firsthand. You know, I saw and experienced a lot of the struggles that zoos were having. Because so many of them couldn't remain open to the public, there were zoos all across the country just having to shut down. And I also saw so many of them, you know, try to attempt to do things online because that's all that they could do at the time. And that is kind of where this idea was born from. You know, I personally was struggling a lot, and I was having a very hard time trying to figure out where I was in life, where I wanted my life to go, what I wanted to do, and just, you know, while also kind of wondering if I would ever be healthy enough to do those things that I wanted to do again. So I was struggling a lot personally, and then I also saw the struggles that zoos were having, and then just somewhere within all of the darkness of these struggles that, you know, myself and zoos and just the world was facing, I had the idea of creating an online zoo that anyone, anywhere could enjoy at any time. And I really just felt like I needed to do it. You know, this was not anything I had ever seen before. It's not really something that exists, but I think that it's something that should. I think that is something that should exist. And I really just feel like this is something that can bring people together and allow them to just have fun and sort of distract themselves from the world around them. And you know, with Beyond the Wild, I want people to be able to feel like they can just sort of remove themselves from this human reality that we live in and submerge themselves into this fascinating world that our animals live in, because they are basically two entirely separate worlds. So this was an idea that I originally had last summer, but then for a very long time, it was sort of just an idea that just stayed in my head and just kind of always lingered around. And you know, every now and then I would do some things here and there to work on it. But for a very long time, I was just not really in the position to actually get this going. But life works out in strange ways, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but now I am here. I'm sitting in front of you wearing my new business shirt, talking to you guys about my new business, and just making this thing a reality. And like I said, I don't really know how I got here, but I am very excited that I am here, and I am even more excited that all of you guys are here with me. So I feel like now is probably a good time to stop this video, because if I'm being honest, I could just sit here and I could just keep going on and on and on and on about this, because I am just so excited for it. But I'm sure that you guys don't want to sit here for 3 hours hearing me ramble. So I think here's a good point to end it. So with that all said, I am just so excited to finally introduce you all to Beyond the Wild, and I really hope that you guys are looking forward to it. I hope that you guys will go and like follow the Instagram and Facebook page for updates, and I hope that when my website launches on January 1st, a bunch of you will be there to check it out. And also keep in mind that if you do happen to be in Nova Scotia, come January, I will also be offering live animal shows in person, and if you are not in Nova Scotia, you can still book them virtually. So yeah, thank you guys so much for just watching this video and listening to my story about Beyond the Wild, and just thank you so much for being here and supporting me in this journey. It truly means a lot to me. So without further ado, I'm just going to end this video now. Like I said, be sure to check out the Beyond the Wild social media, and you know, you can also check out my social media too. It will all be down in the description below. But yes, I need to wrap this up now. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. I will see you all in my next video.